Assalamu alaikum people, and hello there. I hope you're fine. Alhamdulillah, on my side I'm fine. Now let's talk about gratitude, specifically inward gratitude. Most of us, when we hear the word gratitude, we tend to think about appreciation, specifically appreciating other people, which is a very good thing. But what we fail to understand is that actually inward gratitude is what helps us connect the dots and practice outward gratitude, which is being able to appreciate other people, congratulate them for their progress and whatever is happening in their lives. So yeah, we are talking about inward gratitude. Stay tuned. So let me shed some light here. Inward gratitude is basically about going inward, looking at the events that have happened to us in our lives and seeing them as gifts, looking at the challenges that we face with a genuine perspective. Instead of complaining about what has happened to us, we use reflection to find meaning into this event that came to us. Inward gratitude is what leads to outward gratitude. They say charity begins at home. So as long as we do not appreciate the events that are happening to us, the things that we feel inside of us, we cannot practice outward gratitude. We cannot appreciate people for who they are or for what they offer. We need to go inward. Practice inward gratitude. It's when we will be able to show gratitude and appreciate other people. So let's start with the importance of inward gratitude. And as we go through the importance, we are going to understand the real concept of inward gratitude. Importance number one is that inward gratitude makes us happy, and it makes us appreciate the events of life. And instead of being ungrateful and cursing every moment and every event that comes into our lives, we become open-minded people. We receive life's challenges, reflect on them, and find opportunities. Yeah, so inward gratitude helps us achieve happiness. And I don't want to go into the neuroscience part of it, of how it boosts the happiness hormones and it reduces the stress hormones. Basically, gratitude just adds up to happiness rather than complaining about the events that happen to us. Now, I want us to do a practical thing here. Remember the days when you were complaining about stuff? How did it feel at the end of the day? Did you gain anything through complaining? Did you find a way out through complaining? What we realize after complaining is that it drains us. Complaining literally drains our energy. And instead of seeing light amidst darkness, we keep residing or living in darkness. So we come to a conclusion that complaining isn't a good choice for us. And let's also reflect on the days when we were grateful for the little things or for the events that happened to us. What did we see? And I want us to look at being grateful as accepting the situations we are in. If you have lost a job, you accept that you have lost a job. And perhaps hope that because you have lost a job, you're going to get something better. Now, that is how gratitude is. Now, instead of complaining and saying you have lost a job, it closes your mind and you might not want to go look for another one, because as you complain, the more you keep on demoralizing yourself. But when you bring gratitude and say, I did not have this job, or I lost this job, basically because there is something better for me. Yeah. So one last thing in this importance number one I want us to do is reflect on an event in our lives where something happened to us, something that was not good. Yeah, it happened to us. It was not what we expected after all the effort we put, but then it came. And our reaction was, this is so unfair. This should not be happening. Why is this happening to me? I want us to think about that event in the past. And then connect the dots and reflect. From that time when you experienced that event to now, connect those dots to that event and see how that event you termed as unfair led you to where you are. I use a personal example here. So last year, I was into food business. I'm still in food business, but I'm not active these days because of school. Yeah. So one of my eldest brothers offered a certain amount of capital for me to rent a stall where I can run the food business. I was very excited about this whole thing of having my own stall. It is something that I always wanted. So I started looking for a stall, and Alhamdulillah, I got one. And I talked to the caretaker of the place. I told him, that this is what I wanted to do, and he agreed to everything. So everything was actually set. I made phone calls to inquire about the equipment that I need in the kitchen. I made phone calls to ask about where I can start, the types of food I can start cooking. I made phone calls of how I can register my business with the local authorities. I was so much looking forward to having this stall. And then the next day, I called the caretaker of the place and tell him, I got the money, so how can I send it to your agency? And then he told me, I'm sorry, you can't have the stall. Somebody took it, blah, blah, blah. To me, it sounded like a cooked story. Perhaps even I labeled it as tribalism, because I had the stall, and then what did this other person give that made the caretaker lose interest in giving the stall to me, and he gave to this other person whom I never got to meet? So I didn't understand why all this was happening. And I didn't stop there, because I had the money. I started talking to friends who are from the area, asking them to talk to the people of the area so that I could get a stall, because I was told that this story of getting stalls is normally about tribalism. If they know you, you are going to get the place. If they don't know you, there are very low chances of you securing a place there. We tried all that stuff, but nothing really worked. So I had the money and I was actually planning within a week to move from where I was doing my food business to that stall. All this visualization did not come to pass, and I was so annoyed. I was asking myself so many questions. Why is this not working? Why am I trying so hard and nothing is working at all? And after some few weeks, COVID happened. So when COVID happened, all the students were told to travel back home, and we stayed home for 9 good months. During that period I was at home, I really reflected on this incident that happened, and I was asking myself, what if I got the stall and now my main customers are not even in school, businesses are closed, everyone is complaining. If I had this stall, it means I would be paying the rent for 9 good months. So this is reflecting on the events of our lives brings gratitude, and you appreciate that thing that you termed as unfair was actually good for you, because it was actually good for you. So this is what real gratitude is. This is what inward gratitude is. Inward gratitude entails us sitting down and reflecting on the life challenges that are happening to us, reflecting on looking deep into them and seeing that these are challenges, but then we can see opportunities inside them. And if this is happening, then this should be happening. And if this should be happening, then it means that there is a great lesson that comes from this. So since that day, it just made sense to me that really everything happens for a reason. And when this door closes, this door of happiness closes, you don't have to look at it all the time, because another door is open somewhere. And because you're not looking at that open door, you won't see the door open, you won't see the opportunities. You will keep seeing problems, and your life is going to be dark and darker. As a result, you're going to be ungrateful. And as being ungrateful, it accelerates the stress hormones. You're going to be a stressed person. You're not going to be happy. So we see that one of the major importance of being grateful is that it brings happiness. Even without looking the neuroscience as the neuroscience part of it, we feel it already. I'm sure by reflecting on the few events that we thought were unfair and seeing how they have made us who we are today, we now feel how important it is to be grateful to God. The second importance, which is going to be the last one, because we don't want this video to be too long, as long as the message of inward gratitude has hit home, then we really don't have to go much into details. So the second importance of the subject of gratitude, it makes us forget our problems. And I think I have explained this before. When you practice gratitude, you tend to reflect on the life challenges that come to you and find opportunities instead of finding more problems. On the other hand, when you focus on complaining and you focus on the problems, you keep seeing the problems, you don't see any opportunity and any way out. So you keep living in darkness, you keep living in pain, because you are allowing pain to define you. You are allowing ungratefulness to define your life. So guys, let's all embrace the habit of gratitude. And how can we practice gratitude? Fasting every morning or every night as you go to bed, have this tendency of reflecting on your day and see the events that the events that made you happy. It could be your family, it could be a problem you solved, it could be you helping someone. List down. If you can't journal, just talk it out. Tell yourself how grateful you are. Tell God how grateful you are for the gift of life, for your hands, for the smile you give, for how you are able to keep on showing up even if things are not going the way you want. So part of the importance of gratitude is that it helps us see opportunities and forget our problems. And we practice gratitude, inward gratitude, automatically we practice outward gratitude. They say charity begins at home, and this is so true. If you do not appreciate the life events that come to you, if you are ungrateful, if you keep on complaining about what is happening to you, you're going to amplify that in your life. You're going to be unappreciative. You're not going to show appreciation to other people, no matter what they do to you, right? That is why it is very important to start from inward. Let's reflect on what is happening to us, how we are hurting. When we reflect on that, let's derive how this is going to create opportunities for us. Once we do that, it is a way for us to heal fast even and move on with life. Once we keep on complaining, it's going to drain our energy. We are going to stay in that bad condition for the rest of our lives, and we are going to amplify that to other people. We are going to tell people they are not good enough, even if they are. We are going to find it hard to compliment other people in a good way, because charity begins at home. When we don't appreciate ourselves, the life's events we have gone through, we will never be able to appreciate what is happening to other people's lives. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have benefited from this video, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your networks, comment below on how you think about this concept of gratitude. Thank you so much for watching, and ma'asalam.